Here, reappoint in the organizational meeting.
This one doesn't have an empty.
One day at a time. Jen, number 2, how are you? So Mary Ann called. Yeah, please.
I think Pam should be given time to explain this with the attorney, the public hearings.
The renotice, did you guys do the notice last week?
Yeah, we had the notices in the public hearings, but then we have to pause on the vote because of Monroe County, but then we realized the order of events wasn't right. Because you have to have the county feedback before you do the public hearing. So that was when Ian was out. Yeah, I think it's still good here. I'm not good here. I'm really done with this. Edited.
Yeah.
To December. 30. This is like, yeah.
Bring it up. We got to get on the schedule.
Good, how are you?
Now I know.
Want to read some of the resolution?
I can do tree advisory.
Is tree advisor new?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can do public hearings
What is public hearings?
and I can do pilot.
Okay.
Thank you. Want me to do any? And then I said, well. Sure. Yeah. Is that it? Dog control.
Yes. This is showing. I'm really bad. Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, it's similar.
Is that sitting in here?
It's gonna be.
You know, the end date of the tree advisory committee is just that, the end of the year.
They have 1 year, 2 year and 3 year appointments. I'm not sure which one this is, whoever's filling the place of. Because they stagger it. So,
I don't know who it is.
well, no, Harold Ralph had those, whatever step he's.
Person, you missed the class.
Oh,
I know, we just gotta put the end date.
Well,
no, things are.
Having an end date.
they're 1, 2 or 3 year appointments with,
I know, but I don't know which one.
yeah, I mean, we can just go on faith that
I
they
guess-
have the staggering correct with the tree advisory.
Let's see. if it's right.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Carol on the tree advisory committee. Carol on the tree advisory committee.
Carol.
Barnett.
Okay.
Or no, she doesn't. Well, we can just continue and having the exercise.
Okay.
Because,
I'll second that one. Mary Ann, do you want to do the tree advisory one?
Yeah, I'm asking right now, Carol Rowe, yes.
Oh, okay.
See if she responds.
Well, we can get, we got to start the meeting now.
Yep.
Good afternoon. Everybody. 7 o'clock. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Rush Town Board meeting, Wednesday, May 27th, 2026. Can you rise for the signing of the flag? Pledge it. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Present.
Councilman Kies,
Here.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Here.
Councilman Brown,
Here.
Supervisor Hankins.
Here. Public comment, 3-minute request.
So, what we're talking about today.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kelsey.
Miners found
Today on
trapped
Middle
inside
Road.
a treacherous and flooded cave for a
Should we
week.
wait?
Other miners still missing. Here's ABC's Britt Klein.
Tonight, the emotional moment, a pair of rescue divers in Laos found 5 of 7 miners alive in a cave after they.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Kelsey. I'm a resident on Middle Road.
Would you do it? Oh, sure. Yeah.
For the record, I've handed the town board copies of photos of the ongoing erosion condition downstream of the retention pond on Middle Road. I'll ask for these photos back when I'm done with my comments, but I wanted to give them to you for reference of what we're looking at. And what's pictured in these photos, it's not new for the board. They've all been out on site kindly and spent their time taking a look at the ongoing and worsening erosion condition firsthand. Through the discussions, the town board has acknowledged that the erosion and the associated flood risk upstream is an active concern. Yet nothing has been done formally to assess or address the ongoing and worsening condition over the past year, especially as it relates to the town retention pond that is immediately upstream of this erosion condition. Why is discussion of the town engineer's quote or alternative approaches if the quote isn't feasible, again, not on the agenda for tonight's meeting? Why has a direct recommendation from a member of the Rush Planning Board who is a professional engineer and had stated that the pond should be assessed for its capacity and function, that recommendation hasn't been followed through on yet? I submitted a Freedom of Information request to review the proposed actions and the town engineer's quote to understand what it might have encompassed. Yet I received denial, and that record is not being made available. If information regarding pricing, because it's a contractor, is confidential, I understand, but could a list of the proposed actions have been shared with redacted pricing information? I have yet to receive information about the appeals process for a denied FOIL request with the town, but I look forward to getting that response from Pam. Tonight, without prior public discussion, I also see a resolution to expend over $200,000 on highway projects on the agenda. Yet we have seen no resolution to formally assess the town's stormwater infrastructure that you know and that you have known could be directly impacting and actively contributing to an erosion condition and destruction of property. Supervisor Hankins, you have stated to us that you expect work will be done to the west side of Middle Road this year. If that is the case, please inform us of timing and next steps, because we don't have any information to go on. We've also recently learned that the town is not going to be pursuing the state grants specifically for stormwater and flood control. I don't know if that's news to everybody, but it was news to me. In your reports this evening, please inform the community of the town's official position regarding the assessment of the retention pond on Middle Road, so we have clear information to go off of. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Janet Cruz, and co-president of the Historical Society, and Dave Soblerski, who is also co-president. Would like to take the opportunity to introduce the Rush Historical Society and open up communication with the town board. With us tonight is Linda Henry, who is, our past president, Bonnie Lang Meese, our secretary, Sandra Sluberski, programming, and Sue Me, who is the town historian. The mission of the Rush Historical Society is to preserve our rich history of our community while creating meaningful educational opportunities for residents of all ages. Over the past several years, and actually since the bicentennial celebration, we've made tremendous progress through community partnerships, preservation efforts, and growing public interest in preserving the town local history. We're especially proud and really excited about the momentum we're building through the renovation of the Rush Heritage and History and Heritage Center. Our vision for the house is to create an accessible and engaging and welcoming community resource for all residents of Rush. I know because it's such an abstract concept right now, it's hard to understand how it's going to benefit the town. But we know that once the doors are open and people come in, that will change. People will understand the benefit of our organization and of the Heritage and History and Heritage Center. We hope to open the house this early fall. And once opened, along with our exhibits and ongoing programming, we're going to invite other community organizations in to meet with us to see how they can benefit from the building, how they can use the building, how they can benefit from our programming opportunities, and what they would like to see us do additionally. We hope to open the house in early fall, like I said. With that, we'd also like to welcome your thoughts and ideas on how the community can benefit from the Heritage Historical Society. We'd love for you to get to know us better. And to that end, we'd like to invite members of the board to come visit the house, see our progress, see that we've made so far, and hear about our plans moving forward, and answer any questions additionally that you may have. I want to thank you for your time, your support of this project. And we really look forward to helping preserve our local history and creating a great community opportunity for the residents of Rush. Dave and I will be here at the end of the meeting. If you'd like to set up a time to walk through, we'd be glad to do that tonight. To set up a time, not to walk through tonight.
Yeah, and in addition to that is you all were emailed 2 weeks ago about an invitation to be one-on-one, whatever it works. And also I made a copy of that and you got hard copies, which I think you all got last week. So just, you know, it's open, contact me and we can do a walkthrough, whatever you need.
Contact me as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So I'm gonna go new spin on the 3 minutes, a different capacity. So Dave Soblerski, 69 West Rush Road. As an audio and technical professional, I just want to offer to the town board, the last town board meeting, the internet didn't work. And we saw the little thing happen today at the beginning where somebody online here had stuff in the background and it's a little bit of a freak out. And so the bottom line is I worked in broadcasting for 25 years and it was audio and video. But now over the course of time, especially since COVID, Zoom has been normalized. But the work to get everything to work is very complex. You need somebody that has technical expertise. Everything now is, instead of audio engineers and video engineers, you need IT people. You're going through network switches. Everything's fed by Cat5 cable, Cat6, fiber optic. It's not just basically have Pam turn it on and everything magical happens. It's very complex. So what I'm offering is the fact that you voted last week to look at a position. And in that position, I have written lots of positions at RIT when we hire faculty. And you need to decide, you know, what do you want? What are your goals? I can help maybe put it in terms that a tech person might want to know, instead of saying, we want this to work. What does that mean? So I'm here to offer any help that you want, no charge. I did come in 2 weeks ago and tweak the microphones and the sound system a little bit and try to make it better. Was there with the IT guy and Pam and I and him and others worked on it. So it's there, but it's not an easy thing. People take it for granted, but it's very complex. So There you go.
Thank you. We'll contact you.
Okay.
Good evening, Mary Ellen Hayman, Middle Road, and I, of course, echo what Kelsey has shared earlier. We've been here many times talking about the damage on Middle Road. You've seen the pictures, and hopefully at some point we can come to some discussion about the pond. And we're encouraging the owner of the pond to present himself next month to talk about this a little differently from a different perspective, which I'm sure you'll all enjoy. I would also like to mention, as I look at the agenda for tonight, information that was not on the agenda yesterday is now on the agenda. My concern is the budget. Once again, there's no budget discussion, no discussion about healthcare insurance, no discussion about where you are exactly in your budget this year, how much you've spent, how much you've taken in. None of that's here. It's almost June. So the most important thing that you do is take responsibility for the money that the taxpayers send to you every year. And without any information on the minutes, we don't hear any discussion during the meeting. I have to ask the question, is this going on someplace else and you have information? Or if not, why isn't the discussion being held? I hope you consider that. And as town board members, you maybe discuss that with the supervisor individually, so that you can start to bring information regarding the current budget and next year's budget to the table as soon as possible. The time will go by very quickly. Thank you very much for your listening.
Good evening. My name is Janet Glocker. I'm a 5-decade resident of Rush. I've followed environmental and renewable energy issues since my master's thesis in the mid-1970s. Tonight, I want to encourage the town board to become a signatory on an Article 78 lawsuit promulgated by Alexandra Fasulo and 100% paid for by the American Land Rescue Fund, a nonprofit Ms. Fasulo set up recently. As a solar advisory group member, I consulted with Councilperson Keyes about this initiative, who suggested that I send information to the town board. I called Supervisor Hankins for a brief discussion and then forwarded information to the town board members on May 21st. The RAPID Act, Renewable Action Through Project Interconnection and Deployment Act, needs to be challenged. Attorney Amy Levine of the Liberty Street Legal PLLC is Ms. Fasulo's attorney, and she makes the argument that the RAPID Act continues the state delegation of responsibility for planning and siting decisions to the unelected and largely unaccountable agency called ARES. This Article 78 has identified important seeker deficiencies. There's no avoidance of prime farmland or limitations on habitat fragmentation or geographic overconcentration. I'm not an attorney. I can't fully appreciate all the deficiencies Ms. Levine identified in the document that I sent you. She makes no promises as to the success or failure of the Article 78 challenge. What I can tell you is that the Hochul administration is kicking the can down the road on many ARES requirements because New York State communities are up in arms about existing ARES renewable policies. The state budget is late, and renewable energy discussions are among the reasons. Thus far, the mandate for required EV buses has been moved back in time as part of the education bill, and active discussions are ongoing about moving the dates for the greenhouse gas emissions and when they must be reduced. I know of 5 or 6 other Article 78 proceedings against ARES. If the town board is in favor of becoming a petitioner signatory, I'd advise consulting with Ben Wisniewski to make sure that the host community benefit contract with Invenergy would be unaffected. You would need to pass a resolution directing Supervisor Hankins to contact Ms. Levine to be included with other towns and municipalities. I have a draft resolution written by another town which has already moved forward, and I can supply that to somewhat minimize legal fees. And I will personally pay for Ben's advice. I'll send a copy of these remarks to you as well as the Levine memorandum, and I'll send it to you and to Pam for inclusion in tonight's record. And if you haven't read it yet, here it is again.
Thank you.
That timer was the 3 minutes, just.
It was, or was it?
It was, that timer was the 3 minute of the statement.
Right on top.
Good luck is on these.
Yeah. You're quick, Janet.
Thank you, Janet.
Good evening, Amber Corbin, Rush, New York. I'm here to speak on the agenda item number 1 under old business. I called 3 board members this past week when the agenda came out, and they could not explain what agenda item number 1 under old business was about. I'm here tonight. They did get back to me a few days later. However, you all know me. I'm a process person. I do my homework, and I'm here tonight to report on the homework that I did. So on April 22nd, Councilman Kais read a 2-page resolution into the record in regards to the public hearing for the moratorium on Tier 3 solar. It's on YouTube, the complete 2-page document that he read. It's 2 pages long. Then the minutes of April 22nd came out, and the complete resolution is not in the minutes. A 2-page resolution that was read was reduced down to mere 2 sentences on page 7 of the minutes of April 22nd. I know Councilperson Rizzo, commented about the minutes of that meeting on other items. You amended those minutes on other items, but I think this particular very important issue got missed. So I'm asking the board tonight to please amend the April 22nd town board minutes to include the complete 2-page resolution that was mailed to all of you. I got a copy of it as a member of the Solar Advisory Committee. And on page 2, number 5, it says B, the clerk of any city, village, or town within 500 feet of the town of Rush will be notified. C, the clerk of the Board of Supervisors legislative body of any county within 500 feet of the town of Rush will be notified. Monroe County Planning and Development for the 239M, and so on. So what I was told, and maybe the supervisor and the town attorney or others can explain to those of us here tonight and on YouTube and Zoom, what happened, because we're talking April 22nd when Councilman Kais introduced this. It was unanimously approved. We had the public hearing, and now it's on the agenda tonight to do a redo, which I'm sure is costing a lot of legal fees for us as taxpayers and you to approve those bills when you do the abstract. So again, I'm hoping tonight at some point it can be explained to us how this happened, why it happened, and what it's costing us as taxpayers. Thank you.
Would you like to explain that for us, please?
So, as you recognize, the resolution identifies. Thank you. No one needs a microphone to hear me. Oh, my time is up, sorry. No, so the issue is that, under law, certain people are required to receive notice. As you know, the resolution identified the people who are gonna receive notice. To make it really simple, at least one municipal entity that needed to receive notice did not, and we need to make sure that we're providing them with proper notice so that they can come and comment at the hearing. And so we needed to authorize that to happen again so that they could get notice and come to the hearing and give comments if they had them. Because just like the public has a right to comment at a public hearing, the adjacent municipalities that could potentially be affected have that right too. And the town doesn't want to risk infringing on anyone, the public's or another municipality's right to comment on a proposed local law.
Anyone else? Okay, so we'll move forward. Presentation by Carol Burnett, Rush Recreation and Park Association, Memorandum of Understanding and Conservation Easement for 100-acre park.
Hello, everyone. Members of the Rush Town Board and Supervisor Hankins, I'm Carol Barnett. I live in Rush and I am on the Board of Directors of the Rush Recreation and Park Association. And thank you for letting us present our proposal at this meeting. Can everybody hear me okay?
Move it a little closer.
Move it a little closer. Move a little closer. Is that better? Okay. Since 2019, the Rush RPA has had an agreement with the town of Rush to act as steward of the 100 acres, a piece of land with 1 mile of frontage on the Genesee River, which was given to Rush by the state of New York for park and recreational purposes in 2010. In 2023, the town dedicated this land as 100 Acres Nature Park. The Rush RPA is asking the Rush Town Board to ensure that the 100 acres will be a permanent nature preserve. We've sent the following documents which we propose and hope that the town board will adopt. First, an updated and renewed Memorandum of Understanding or MOU or agreement between the town and the Rush RPA. And along with that, a nature park management plan, which is referred to in the MOU, and it's really a part of it. Now, the nature park management plan is pretty similar to the one that was attached to the original MOU. But one thing that's different is that it ends with a very lengthy list of current partners and potential partners, which shows how much has happened since 2019. We also sent the town board a conservation easement, which would amend the deed to the 100 acres and give it more solid protection as a nature park. And we sent a resolution for the town board to use in adopting the MOU, the management plan, and the conservation easement. Well, why is it a good idea to renew the stewardship agreement with the Rush RPA? Since 2019, the Rush RPA has been a responsible and conscientious steward. It has planted more than 900 trees and bushes on the property. It has improved the park with signage, an information kiosk, trails, a parking lot, and a utility shed. The utility shed and foundation cost more than $10,000, all of which was raised by the Rush RPA capital campaign. The Rush RPA holds dozens of events every year at the park, including bird walks, forest bathing, education on native species, children's programs, and work parties. Lots of work parties. The Rush RPA has developed a robust volunteer base and cultivates the participation of the next generation with the involvement of Eagle Scouts, young students, and college-age partners. The Rush RPA received a grant from the Rochester Birding Association to encourage endangered grassland birds. It received a grant of 500 trees from the USDA Forest Service through Monroe County Soil and Water. The planting of those trees was completed in 2025. And in March 2026, this year, the Rush RPA received an invasive species grant from the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for more than $31,000 to plant native shrubs and flowering perennials at the park. The implementation of this grant will take 3 years through April 2029 and really beyond for purposes of monitoring and follow through by the agency. Because of all these things, the Rush RPA needs stability and the assurance that its work and the work of the community in building the park will endure. Why should the town pass a conservation easement? Well, by dedicating the 100 Acres Nature Park, the town demonstrated its intent to preserve this land as a green space. The conservation easement will give an added level of protection by ruling out certain kinds of development. All of the things we are proposing will reinforce the intention of the original deed and the intention of the park dedication, And they will support a permanent nature preserve, which will protect native trees and plants, habitat for pollinators, birds, and other wildlife, and it will protect the riparian buffer along 1 mile of frontage on the Genesee River, a priceless resource, by reducing pollution, flooding, and erosion, and by nurturing the delicate riverfront ecosystem. Thank you for listening and for your support of our park. But when I say our park, I mean the park that belongs to all of us. And we want every council person to vote for this. We're asking for consensus. In closing, I want to say that a permanent nature park puts no burden on the town. The cost and care of the park are the responsibility of a nonprofit organization and volunteers. Even though the Rush RPA is asking for this, it's not for us, it's for the town. It's also for the region, for the state, and beyond that, but first and foremost, it's for the benefit of the town. By adopting these proposals, you will save the investment of the community in this property, and you will make the property even more valuable than it already is, now and forever. Thank you, and we will be happy to create a binder of these materials for the community to be found in the clerk's office, the supervisor's office, and the library. And I also want to say that another board member has brought quite a bit of material that might answer questions that would arise, or just to, illustrate different aspects of our proposal. But I don't have 5 copies of all of those. But one thing I do have that I'd like to leave with everyone is a color copy of our spring and summer programs. And I will pass those out now while I await any reaction from you. Any question? I don't know if there's any response, question. We're certainly available if anyone wants to email or call or follow up. We would love to meet with you individually. And, I should say, we're there all the time at the park. And in particular, I think probably, is there anyone who hasn't been to the park? Any of you? Have you all been there? But things are going on all the time over there. Improvements are being made. Things are being planted. And I believe I emailed everyone at the end of last week saying that we have 3 days, this Saturday and Sunday and the following Saturday, when there will be board members there to give you a little guided tour. And so might be a good idea to email us just to give us a heads up that you'll be coming on one of those days, but though we will be there at those times and on those days. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think that this is one of the most beautiful places in the town of Rush, and I'd like to see it protected. Approval of minutes, regular meeting, May 13th, 2026.
I'll make the motion to approve the meeting minutes of Wednesday, May 13th, 2026, as submitted by Town Clerk Harkley. Second.
Second.
I have one amendment. I gave it to Pam already. At the top of page 4, it said that Julia Letterman went to the meeting with the Assemblyperson Andrea Bailey. And actually, she arranged the meeting. And it really should read that Julia Letterman set up a meeting with Senator Pam Helming, Assemblyperson Andrea Bailey, regarding the governor's proposal to expedite or exempt the seeker process for the purpose of expediting the building of homes. So present at the meeting was the senator, the assembly person, myself, Councilperson Rizzo, and two conservation board members, Pat Kraus and Beth Hope. Julia Letterman arranged the meeting, but she had a conflict, another appointment, so she couldn't make it. So I didn't want to mislead. I don't think Julia would have wanted to mislead people to think that she went to the meeting that she wasn't present for. So many words, I gave it to Pam.
Thank you.
And with that,
So you want everything
Corrections?
that I wrote in there stricken?
just to be replaced with this, please.
Councilman Kais,
With corrections. Yes.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman McLaughlin,
As amended, aye.
Councilman Brown,
Abstain.
Supervisor Hankins.
Aye.
I so move, having reviewed all vouchers on abstract 5-2 dated May 27, 2026, authorized payments totaling $59,223.07, which includes Fund AA General for $34,903.50, DA Highway Townwide for $13,574.16, HH Capital Projects $2,198.01, and LL Library for $8,547.40. Do I have a second?
Second,
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
Aye. Reports from board members?
You want me to start?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. I just apologize. I do have 8 things I want to say, but we used to do it every other week, but now we're only doing it once a month. I'll try to be brief. So I attended the Southwest Lake Ontario Sub-Basin Work Group meeting. And it's a collective initiative led by the DEC Great Lakes Action Agenda. And the goal is to improve the water quality of the Great Lakes. So I attended that, and it was actually held at the Judicious Pavilion in the early part of the month. And there were approximately 20 organizations present and about 35 people in all. And Beth Hope from the 100 Acres Nature Park was asked to speak at this. And the director had sought her out to give the presentation about the park. And so after the meeting, there was a prearranged tour of the 100 Acres Nature Park. And the director said that the 100 Acres Nature Park touches on several goals in the New York Great Lakes Action Plan. So I was really glad to attend that event. Number 2, the zoning board meeting. I was not physically present at the zoning board meeting, but I did listen at the Zoom, and they approved a variance on Lyons Road for the driveway. Now they can have a sight of vision. The attorney, Don Young, had a new resolution form for zoning, a template of 5 factors that actually they used when making a determination. They used for the Lyons Road determination. They sort of, they gave it a go. And they seem to like the new template. They seem to feel comfortable with it. And let's see, I would like to schedule workshop meetings. I feel for the amendment to the amendments to the code. And I don't know, I'd like to schedule them today, and if we can, I'd like to schedule them now. I think we should schedule 2 or 3 in a row, because just like what Luther has taught me, things happen very slow in government. Let's get this on the calendar and get it noticed. Can we schedule those right now?
When do you want to do it?
I would like, I mean, it's either Monday or Thursday, it sounds like, but I know that at one time, I would propose, I can just throw some dates out here, June 29th, which is Monday, June 29th, Monday, June 6th, Monday, June 3rd, and I'm sorry, Monday, July 6th, Monday, July 13th. If we could schedule 3 and just get this going.
I don't have a problem with it if the board is In agreement.
So the first was June 29th.
If possible, we could do it at 6 or 7, depending on, I don't know.
Seven.
7,
6 a kill.
okay. 7 on the 29th.
I'm okay with that one.
And how about Supervisor? How does that look for you? And then also we'll ask Pam if she can do the noticing for that. And then hopefully on the July 6th, is that possible?
I cannot.
Did you want to go to Thursday, the 9th of July?
No,
How about the 13th?
that's also bad.
Why don't you give me a date?
Tuesday.
Are we looking at Mondays? Is that,
We can do it on a Tuesday, as long as it's not the planning board. And,
I mean, why don't we start with setting the 29th out? Let me see how I can rearrange my schedule a little bit. And then, I mean, we got another board meeting coming up on the 10th.
and maybe we can schedule another one then.
Yes.
All right, so we'll confirm then, we'll do it at 7 o'clock on June 29th. And Pam, if you could do the proper noticing, please.
Need to do a resolution, to schedule it.
Be it resolved that we have a workshop meeting to work on code amendments on Monday, June 29th at 7 o'clock.
Second.
All those in favor?
Did you second it?
Yeah. He seconded it.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
Aye.
Okay, getting back to my, thank you, everyone. Getting back to,
Sorry, with the town board, like, the town attorney present for that or no?
I don't think it's necessary. If we come up with something between now and then,
Okay.
I'll ask you.
Thanks, I just wanted to note it for my records.
thank you. I know that number 4 on my list, I know that we're going to be hopefully approving a dog control officer. But I also would like to put on the agenda, hopefully next meeting, that we talk about an assistant dog control officer. And you're probably thinking, oh, no, hiring somebody else, but just as an ad needed basis, and they might be needed 4 or 5 times a year. And the reason I say that, I've been in discussion with a former dog control officer who tells me that could be very dangerous work, and sometimes you need a second person. A second person, if you have to lasso the dog, the second person is there to open the car, open the crate, get them in, help them get in. So I think I'd like to have that discussion just to approve someone that would be as needed and used infrequently.
Sure.
But sometimes on a call, they can't always come when needed. And so I would like to offer that because it becomes a safety issue for the dog control officer. So I just like to have that on the agenda. The other thing is, right now we have no place to store or house the dog when the dog is picked up. And we're waiting for the Henrietta facility to get built, which should happen hopefully by the end of the year. But in the interim, we really don't have a place after hours. Perhaps at some point, there's an option with taking them to Lollipop Farm. I'm not sure about that. But can we just put this on the agenda so that we have this zipped up as to some of these important details of the dog control officer? Consider it.
Well, all of that's been considered, and we certainly want an additional dog control officer. That's already on the table. And we're working with Ag and Market. We're working with the town of Henrietta. We're working with the town of Brighton. We're working with the town of Chi-Li. We're working with some of the other towns in providing the services that are being required by Ag and Market. There's an awful lot of changes that we're going to have to be looking at over the next couple of weeks, the next month. as soon as the dog shelter is open and running. We're trying to work with the town of Bendon because I know that based upon the new laws, we probably gonna have to have a vehicle. Okay, because the way things are set up now, you're gonna have to have heat and air in order to make sure that the animals are safe. And so there's a lot on the table that you're putting out there.
So can we put it on the agenda so we can discuss it fully because the new dog control officer is going to start. There's going to be incidents where we're going to have to respond. And I just want to make sure that there's safety and I want to make sure the dogs are safe as well.
Well, we would have that now. And we're looking for that, yes.
So can
And
we
in
discuss it?
terms of putting it on an agenda, we need to know exactly what is going to be required of the town through Ag and Market. That's why I haven't put it on the agenda, because, you know, we're looking at a lot of change that's going to happen over the next couple of months. That's why we're waiting for the dog shelter to be open, but we are certainly building in safety for any person that works for us.
Where is the dog control officer going to take the dog after hours?
Well, we can call the sheriff if we don't have any place for them.
Where's the sheriff going to take the dog?
That's the sheriff's issue.
No, it's our issue and I want to discuss it.
Well, okay, go ahead.
I don't know if I'm at liberty to call. We have someone that's likes to speak, but I don't have the liberty to call her up.
Well,
Do you want to call her?
no.
Okay. So I
Wait
still
the
don't. know if the
resident
dog-
to speak at the end comment.
Oh,
that
the
we
public
can-
comment period at the end, please. You might probably have a very good, we usually don't involve during that, but at the end, please do. Okay, so so I don't know, I really feel like we're dangling with this issue and I want to make sure that dogs are kept safe and the dog control officers kept safe. All right. I'm gonna still ask you to get on the agenda and maybe I'll negotiate, try to encourage you.
You don't have to, because we will be putting that on the agenda, because there's an awful lot that the towns are gonna have to change based upon the new Ag and Market laws,
Okay.
okay?
Thank you. So the other thing is the Rapid Act that Janet Glocker had mentioned earlier, and she's part of the solar group, asking the town to become a signatory to the Article 78 to challenge the Rapid Act. I would either like to, I think I'd like to get that on the agenda as well, unless you guys wanted. She had sent this to us via email. I had time to study it, but I'd like to not wait for government to take too much time to get things done. Do you want to call a resolution for that or do you want to talk about it next time?
Well, we got to talk to Ben first,
Okay,
okay?
yes, thank
Because
you.
The town has a contract that we can't just do anything we feel like doing without knowing
Yes, of
that we're
course.
doing the right thing.
Thank you.
And I've talked with Mrs. Blocker about that and the fact that we will have to talk to Ben.
Because of the community host agreement.
Yes.
Okay. Next on my list is,
Sorry.
yes,
If you guys want me to take a look at the pleadings and at least update the town board about the claims in it, just let me know and send me the citation for the index number and I can look into it and let you know what it's about and its claims.
yeah, okay. Thank you.
Just offering.
Thank you. I really would like to just start the discussion on the data centers. And I would like to get that on the agenda and see, and I also would like the community to speak to us about their feelings about data centers. I'm just learning about them myself, but I understand that they have massive energy demands when they move into a community. I know that they have severe water consumption and sometimes people's wells run dry and they have a consistent hum. So sometimes the noise is not good for the neighbors. So I don't know enough about it, but I think we should discuss it as a town. I encourage the townspeople to come and teach us anything they know or feel about it. And okay, that's that. So I just wanted to reiterate the town board members were invited to speak with Senator Pat Helming and Andrea Bailey. And we did have that meeting regarding the relaxation of the seeker reviews. And I think it went very well. And in attendance was myself and Pat Kraus from the Conservation Board, and also Beth Hope from the Conservation Board. I also attended, the supervisor gave a declaration, a proclamation, I should say, for Earth Day and Arbor Day at the end of the 15 Days of Spring cleanup. And I really appreciated that proclamation. Thank you, Supervisor. And lastly, I would like to get on the agenda the issue of the senior citizen. I'd like to revisit the senior citizen exemption issue. We have had a citizen come to us, send us an email regarding this. It's to support the seniors aging in place. And I'd like to get that on the agenda so we can air her concerns. There's also some issues with a new introduction by the governor. I'd like to be able to address that as well regarding seniors aging in place and the exemption. Just learning about that. So if we can get that on the agenda as well. And that's it. Thank you.
Next person I want.
I attended the Conservation Board, 514. We did not have a secretary. They took notes on their own, provided the notes. I'm not quite sure what disconnect happened there. I would say our secretary left at the time being during that time. But we did get in, everybody had a meeting with what was to be discussed. I don't have any near as much of that stuff. I am, watching everything. Like, we have a lot of things on the table, and we all got to work through it there. We got flooding, and we got the dog control, and we got R20 and R30, and we have a lot of things going on here. And this is one of the things I tried to promote or advise you coming on is government does not work fast to its best intention. And it's just like this solar farm. We started back on March 6th talking about this, and we're still working away at it. So try not to get frustrated. And I know the town people, they probably get frustrated with us, but we are trying to work in small steps, different ways of moving forward. So I got.
The Fire Commissioners meeting was last week, Tuesday. I did miss it because I had a last minute conflict come up. But I did talk to Rick Tracy because he attended as our fire marshal. Pretty uneventful, other than they're basically going to get started on their budget here pretty soon. So that's about all I got.
David?
We had a planning board meeting last month. This month was canceled. There was just a discussion about a new home on Lyons Road. I just like to reiterate again, I do believe there needs to be a traffic study of Lyons Road, as I believe there's probably safety issues having 55 miles per hour without shoulders and pretty skinny lanes. And it's becoming a headache for people that want to build a home on their big lots over there. So I hope that we can try to help some of the people out over there. I also had the honor of attending the Eli Fagan Stevens Connor American Legion Post 1151 Revolution Memorial Day ceremony, and it was really wonderful what they put together. It was also very nice of our town historian to give a nice overview of residents even from the Revolutionary War buried here in Rush. There's a lot of history here, and I'd like to give a thank you to all those that gave the ultimate sacrifice, defend our freedoms in our town and our country. I also watched a webinar by the University of Michigan talking what Councilmember Rizzo talked about data centers. It's something also our colleagues across New York State and rural areas are starting to face, something pretty new. So just trying to get an understanding of it, make sure our residents are protected. I know people are dealing with water issues with their wells. We don't want to face something like that. It's a modern issue coming up, so I think that's why there hasn't been discussions in the past. So I think it's important the board educates ourselves on it, and that maybe throughout this these zoning evolution processes here, that maybe we include something on that, because our code should evolve as things evolve in the world and things are changing day to day. Also, I wanted an answer. I had a couple of questions from residents and I just wanted to publicly answer as well. I had brought up in the past the Stony Brook shooting range. People thought I was talking about the Brooks Gun Club. I am not talking about the Brooks Gun Club. That's a complete different issue. Nothing, I have nothing to raise over that. I'm talking about the Stony Brook facility run by MCC. We're going to be setting up a meeting very soon with them. I'm just, my personal concerns going over there, there's some fencing that's kind of fallen apart. And I just don't want children to be walking into those areas, not knowing, or people's pets walking into there. I just think it's a safety hazard. We haven't met with them in a very long time. The agreement with the town was from 1993. I don't think there's been a lot of involvement with the supervisor of the board along the way. So I think it's just time to do our due diligence and just talk with those people, especially as they're part of our community. But that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Well, I had the opportunity to speak at the Veterans Memorial Day on Saturday. Also, I have the opportunity to spend time at the School of Industry, getting to know the works that are being done out there. And there is a lot of work that's been done out there. Quite a few young people are graduating from getting a GED. Some are graduating from high school. Some are headed off to college. So things are going well over there. Also, I think it's time that we start to take a look also at the 250 year that's coming up, and try and maybe even tie that to the park, and maybe come up with other things that we can do here in the town for that. Mary and Dave Slayton sent their information and their concerns about their agreement with the moratorium for solar. Rochester Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum will be celebrating a Subway 60 car on June 21st. And that would be at, what is it, George Eastman House? I think they call it something else, but that's where it is. And we are working with the town engineer in terms of getting a grant. But in our research, a lot of the grants that are out there, Rush doesn't qualify for. They're looking more for people with more need. I think that we have a good chance, based upon what our engineer said, to be able to get a grant for the swale that we have here in the backyard, because that is tied to the Honey Creek. We also talked with the state DEC about the blockage of all of the trees that are in the creek. And we were told that we can't do anything about it because there are species that are protected, or that can be protected, that could be on those logs. But we were also told that we can apply, maybe look into getting a permit with the Corps of Engineers. And we are waiting for a report back from the DEC as to what we can do and how to go about doing it. So that's where we are at this point. Okay. Town Clerk?
I attended the Monroe County Clerks, Tax Receiver and Collectors Association meeting in May. The guest speaker there was Anne Marie Braid from Ag and Markets, and she talked extensively about dog licensing and Ag and Markets and all the different things that are included in the law and upcoming that are required. We are continuing to post tax payments through the end of this month, and the county will be collecting county taxes through August 20th. We received, or I received, and the board received a retirement letter from our recreation supervisor, Pat Stevens, which will take place the end of June. The April revenue town clerk report was submitted with a check to the supervisor in the amount of $25,336.94. And the state checks going out amounted to $156.70. Revenue check was heavily supported by recreation and building department fees. The supervisor asked, as Mr. Silversky said, to pay us a visit and look at our microphone equipment, and he did increase the volume. So I encourage the board to talk more closely to their microphones so that all residents can hear. It took Mr. Silversky and our IT person that happened to be on site and myself at least over an hour and a half, 2 hours to try to get it going. And I just have to say that my vision is very good, and both of them agreed that it's really hard to look at both of these things and get things going. So we're looking for a quote for something that is right here so that I can see it more easily and help the public. My deputy, Annette Buchanan, who is on vacation and has been for the last week and this week, she received an award for RMC recognition, which is Registry of Municipal Clerk. She attended the town, New York State Town Clerk meeting this last April. And I just wanted to give recognition to our highway department, who has been doing their red, white, and blue, all of our flower beds. And the seniors actually did put in a bed over, entered into the pavilion thing, and they did a great job with red, white, blue there. So thank you for the highway and the seniors for doing that. And also Ann Meekin, which is a resident, she continues to serve and be the county in bloom. So up at 251 and 15, if she hasn't already, she'll be putting in flowers that we have received from the county there. So.
Okay.
No new updates, working through supporting the town on its various initiatives. No new litigation I'm worried.
Thank you. Okay, old business. Notice of local law of 2026 for public hearing set for June 10th, 2026 regarding establishment of a temporary moratorium of Tier 3 solar energy systems.
I move to renotice, or the renoticement of local law number to be determined of 2026 for public hearing set for June 10th, 2026 regarding the establishment of a temporary moratorium on Tier 3 solar energy systems. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kies,
Yes.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
Aye. Notice of local law of 2026 for public hearing set for June 10th, 2026 regarding amending the town code for firefighters and ambulance workers exemption. I move to renotice of local law of 2026 for public hearing to set forth June 10th, 2026 regarding amending the town code for firefighters and ambulance workers exemption. Can I get a second?
One moment. On the previous resolution, I failed to put a time start on that. So I would like to motion to revote the resolution, adding 7:15 is the start time.
Thank you.
Do I have a second to revote on that resolution?
I second that.
Okay.
So we never had a start time for the public hearing,
Oh, okay, got it.
so,
And
oh, and location. Oh, what's the address? again? Sorry.
597
597.
Woodland.
Right.
I second that.
All right,
Okay.
Both.
to include the address the clerk mentioned and 7:15 PM is the start time on June 10th, 2026.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna revise that and leave it as is,
Okay,
as far as the vote.
is everyone good with it still with the?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Right. Because we have to do it again anyway, so.
And then your resolution, you would just have to follow the previous one, so
Right.
you could even put it a minute after, but
Right. We'll put it a minute after.
7:16.
yeah.
7:16. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
I thought you said, a second.
Oh.
Okay.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yes.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
All right. Resolution authorizing support contract for specialty inspections as needed by Thailand International Engineering and Architectural PC.
You can move it. I think there just needs to be a couple changes on the agenda. So the start date's May 1st, and here we are on May 27th. And the end date says April 30th, 2027. I don't think we should be having contracts into next year. We can just redo it at the organizational meeting in 2027. So ending December 31st, 2026. You go ahead.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I so move to assign support contracts for specialty inspections as needed by Thailand International Engineer and Architects PC commencing May 28, 2026 through 12/31/2026, and then annually thereafter as requested by the town.
I'll
Do I have
second.
a second?
I'll second.
Just for the community, I just wanted them to know that this firm will be a backup for Rick Tracy. And I spoke with Rick Tracy today. He's a building inspector. And in the event of, he has a medical event, he said that he really doesn't think that we will need their services much, but it's to fall back on if needed. And so made a lot of sense to me just to have them in the wings in case we need them. So I support it. What's the rate?
The hourly rate of the individual to be working for us is $175 an hour. Yep, after, which needs to be in the resolution, so I think we should add that, well, actually, there's a rate schedule, because if we call upon anyone, just the contracted rate schedule submitted by Thailand International. And after doing some research, a lot of municipalities neighboring us do use Thailand. Because I wanted to do some homework last board meeting, we didn't have a lot of time to really look over all this.
Right.
I think they could be sufficient in filling in as needed, in any bigger projects. It seems like they've done a lot of work in the area, covering a lot of various different projects. Inspections.
So I'll amend the resolution to include the rate schedule that was included in the contract.
Okay.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Aye.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
Aye. resolution for authorization to sign support contract for specialty inspections as needed by American Precision Construction.
I'll make the resolution for authorization to sign support contracts for specialty inspections with American Precision Construction for the construction of the site Vita Temple, 6980 East River Road, Rush, New York, for 140 per hour, billed monthly. Do I have a second?
I'm not gonna second it. I'll just make a comment on it. If we're hiring T-Line, we have T.Y. Lin, or Ty Lin is our secondary to Rick Tracy. I don't feel that we need another service. And there's no end date other than the Temple project. And it just kind of leaves it open-ended. I also spoke to Rick Tracy today about it, and he felt that, you know, Ty Lin would be more than sufficient for what he needs to do to support the town.
Well, I think that the reason that I feel that we should have additional support is because I sit here in this building and I saw the people coming, looking to have their jobs done and taken care of. I seeked out the two different organizations based upon their experience level and based upon what we could possibly need in the future for the town of Rush in terms of supporting. And based upon my experience, we can use both of these organizations to serve the town of Rush in the event that there is a need. You have contractors to make sure that you can carry any need that you might have down the road. Like today, the air conditioning in the library was out. We called a contractor. If that contractor couldn't come, we had another one we could call. That's what contractors are all about. And they save money because they're not sitting here in this building on an hourly rate, getting paid for 20 or 30 hours a week. But it's a huge savings for the town to make sure that, and we might never want to use any of them, but we have access. If the lights go out, call Dave Watson, contractor. That will be here the next day as soon as you can to make sure we have lights. If we get a leak, we call the plumber, contractors. And we have the right to do it because they're on our list. We have their insurances. And we know that we're calling quality worker. And that's why we have contractors. You know, and
No, I don't disagree. There was a
but
lot.
it's not costing us any money unless we have a serious need for it. And if we do, that means that wherever that person will be needed, that's who has to pay that cost. So there's no real reason that we can't have more than one person that's available to the town of Rush to support the needs if we see them or if we have them.
But is that something that could also be accomplished by an intermunicipal agreement with Henrietta, Wheatland?
Well, we're still working on that.
Mendon?
We're working on that, and I've been working on that now for 4 months. And based upon what goes on out there, we haven't been able to get anyone that wanted to do it. And I will continue to keep trying.
I wouldn't disagree that there was a large influx of contractors or even residents looking to have work done.
Right.
I do believe we should give Rick the opportunity to, you know, kind of calm the waters, so to speak, of the rush of people that came in. I think we need to give it time. Just so we're not wasting people's time, I'll second it and we call the roll and see where it ends up.
That's right, yeah.
I'd like to add discussion. Thailand did give a response time agreement in their contract, so it says they will respond within 48 hours, so that is agreed upon. And looking at like their fee schedule and things, I have confidence that if we were ever in the backup situation, they would be able to perform those duties. I also think it's good for a town to have good agreements with their contractors too. Like we wouldn't want to eventually have 9 people as backups because companies would be like, wow, do they even trust us to work for them? And I just feel like doing the homework, talking to other towns. Thailand would be a great backup. I talked to Rick Tracy as well and had a long conversation with him, and he was very gracious with his time. He didn't see that he would really need the support. And if needed, he would use Thailand in that whenever he needed in that discretion. I feel like 48 hours is a great turnaround time, especially for projects. I feel like as a resident, if I was waiting 48 hours for something, would still feel good. 2 days, I get my answer on my permit. I think it would be fine to go forward with that. I also hope that people would put their personal connections to some of these votes aside and do what's best for residents in some situations. And also if they need to excuse themselves from a vote, they do that appropriately.
I'm gonna trust the supervisor that he did his research and, I know that, it is good to have a couple of different options sometimes. But in order for me to say yes, I would like to have the end date at the end of the year, December 31st, 2026, to then be renewed if we decide to. So, I could vote on it, yes, if we want to continue with the vote. But I would like to have that, maybe restating that to go at the end of the year.
I would agree to restating that.
And just to consider ethical hiring practices, just keep that in mind.
There's also no not to exceed limit here.
Not to exceed 140.
Well, 140 per hour billed monthly. It doesn't say that the person could bill us for 40 hours,
Oh,
50 hours.
per hour.
Well,
Yeah, I'm saying, there's nothing that just says as needed.
I wouldn't mind having a cap for the next 6 months, having a cap on what could be spent. I wouldn't mind doing that.
You want to
Well-
fuck that?
Well,
On 40 as needed?
I still don't think we need to.
well, I know a lot about construction. I have over 40 years in construction. And if I have concrete sitting in my front yard on a truck that's costing me $5,000, whether I use it or not, because it's already there, and I can't use it because of a town, then that's not right. And those things do happen. There's nothing wrong with having quality backups to take care of issues that might occur in the future. And in terms of cost, if we have that much of a need, then the town's going to be building for that need, even if it's 100 hours, which those things don't happen in the construction world. They don't happen. Now, different contractors come with different skills. And when you make a decision, you need to know what those skills are.
I guess my opinion is this costs us nothing unless we use them.
Right.
And all we're doing is the one company there, Precision, he has already been involved with the temple. He's been doing inspections at the temple for the town as it's been being built. He's familiar with it. And as Dave says, the other guys are 48-hour notice. They can probably be there. If I gotta wait 48 hours notice to pour cement, you're gonna be somewhat angry person walking around, right?
But there's
That's
no,
ridiculous. If-
there's
if-
no time guarantee for the other one though. He could show up 10 days later. There's nothing in the contract saying he has to be there.
But my point being is, it doesn't cost us the town. The town pays nothing for either one of the companies unless we use them. If Rick decides to call company A or company B, it's his choice, as needed, if needed. Just to back up.
I'm just saying, John Limbeck did it by himself for years. I personally want to give Rick the opportunity to just do his job.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to get rid of Rick in any way.
No, I know, I know. I'm not arguing that point. I'm
Okay.
just saying, we got Ty Lin, who's a mutual party,
Yeah.
who,
But Rick will have his job. Rick is doing his job. If tomorrow Rick said, I can't be here for 3 months, and I won't get into why, but I can't be here for 3 months. It's my responsibility to take care of that problem. Okay?
but
And
according,
what I'm asking the town board is to give me the freedom to be able to take care of that problem if that problem arises. That's all.
but according to the resolution, that this individual would not be able to help with that because we're only working with them on the Sri Vidya temple.
Well, but if they have if they are certified as contractors with the town of Rush, if Rick is not here, for whatever reason, I could ask that person to do that job. And that person being a contractor here, if they say no, that's okay. Maybe we have another one.
But this is
But
the
the
evolving.
construction world is a different world, and I think you need to know what you're talking about when you start making certain decisions about that.
Did you do, since you're from the construction world, have you done business when you, in your private business with American Precision Construction?
No,
None.
no.
Okay, so on record, no business with American Precision Construction. I would also ask, does any board member have a personal relationship with someone from American Precision Construction? I feel like that should be an honest thing to come forward. Because I would be transparent with any relationships that I had with any contracts or companies that we were contracting.
We can just call the roll. I mean,
Can we call the roll, please?
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Can we please add that the end date is 12/31/26? Can we re-resolute that?
Okay,
I don't have a problem with that. Yes.
Okay. And
can
then
someone reread it since you've talked so many different,
be it resolved, the authorization to sign support contracts for specialty inspections with American Precision Construction for the construction of the Sri Vidya Temple, 6980 East River Road, Rush, New York, for 140 per hour billed monthly to commence on today and to be with the end date of December 31st, 2026. Do I have a second?
We already have a second.
Well, with this read this way.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kies,
Yes.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Nay.
Councilman Brown,
nay, and I'd like to point out in this contract, it does say highlighted, inspections, answer emails, and attend construction meetings at a billed rate of $140 per hour, not just $140 per inspection. So there's more to come on that.
Supervisor Hankins,
Aye.
I'd like the clerk to put on record my discontent with not the forthcoming of personal relationships with board members to American Precision Construction.
Okay. Resolution to authorize highway superintendent and town board enter into an agreement pertinent to the provisions of section 284 of highway law. Control Officer DCO. No, wrong one. It's too far down, excuse me. Resolution to authorize highway superintendent and town board to enter into an agreement pertinent to the provisions of section 284 of highway law.
Be it resolved to authorize highway superintendent and town board to enter into agreement with Monroe County pursuant to the provisions of section 284 of the highway law. I will move that the town's highway superintendent of the town of Rush, Monroe County, New York, make an agreement pursuant to the provisions of section 284 of the highway law, excuse me, please, to agree that all monies levied and collected in the town for repair and improvements of highways shall be expended as follows. On general repairs in the sum of $60,000 may be expended upon 23.42 miles of town highways, including sluices. I don't know that word, culverts and bridges having a span of less than 5 feet, and boardwalks or the renewals thereof, and capital improvements expending for the improvement of Wardell Road on the road commencing at Lyons Road and leading to the Rush Town Line, a distance of 1.12 miles, to be expended not over the sum of $50,000 of single course stone, $50,000 of single course stone and oil, and Botwood Lane of 0.03 miles, Farmcrest Drive, 0.47 miles, Harvest Lane, 0.13 miles. On Botwood Lane, commencing on Farmcrest Drive. Farmcrest Drive commencing on Middle Road, and Harvest Lane commencing at Middle Road, a distance of 0.63 miles, not to expend over $107,000 for Cape Seal. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman, excuse me, Councilman Rizzo?
I did read it into the resolution, but I really don't know what the word sluices is.
It's to carry water
Okay,
solution.
yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yep.
Councilman McGlashan,
I would just like to comment that I feel like things being submitted to the agenda, that whoever's submitting these things, please get them to the clerk in a timely manner so that the public can see them with ample time. But
Just. Excuse me.
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
Aye. Aye.
Let's move on.
Resolution approving supervisor's appointment of Holly McNeil as dog control officer at step 5.
Shall I read it?
this raises a concern though. Step 5, we don't have an approved step system and it was supposed to be on this agenda and it's not on this agenda.
Right.
Because it's not on there, can we just name a dollar amount so that we can just
Yes.
pass it? I know that we haven't had a dog control officer and we really need one, and I did read the resume application, and I thought that the applicant looked like a very good candidate, and I was very impressed with her resume.
Regardless of how good a candidate is, we need to approve a step system for our employees.
But I know we need a step system, but if we can, because I understand that, and I would like to do that as well. But if we could just have a dollar amount here, so that would enable us to approve it tonight. Maybe we can keep it simplified that way.
Is it
And-
the step 5 that we're going by 2025 or
2026, step 5 is $8,700 and I
So
think $68.
$8,768. Could we do that? Unless you wanted further discussion, but
Well, I'd like to discuss a little more. A lot of that's gonna have to change in a very short time because of ag and market law. The scales are gonna be changing. The job is going to be slightly changing, and all of that's going to be adding more costs. Some of those things is why I was waiting to get this approved. And we do have the pay scale on schedule for our next town board meeting. And the board will have that before the week's over. I mean, before next week is over.
and can I ask you a question, Supervisor? The 8768, so that would be for the year, so it would be prorated.
Yeah.
I'm ready to pass this if others are.
I would just hope that there's just more communication with hiring. Just so that people understand, like, because even when we do a step system, I'll give you like an example, like as a teacher, if someone's hired at step 5, that's the equivalent of 5 years of experience in that district. So then like the step 5 for a dog control officer, we would expect maybe 5 years of experience as a dog control officer. Just like keeping our employees in mind, like when we're hiring, because some people with maybe 2 years of experience are hired at step 2, not step 5. So just making sure we're honoring employees with our hiring practices, and also maybe just even offering board members, I know we all can't be there at the same time, if they'd like to be on interview committees. And I thank the clerk too for sitting in with the supervisor on these hiring and interviews, so.
Do we don't provide a car or anything for them, right? They use their own vehicles?
Right now, yes.
And we don't provide mileage or anything that I'm aware of.
We will have to provide mileage.
We will,
And I think once the shelter is built, we might have to revisit the pay scale because they're gonna have to put in some time in the shelter when our dogs are brought there. Or a certain amount of time with the Henrietta shelter that we're gonna have a municipal agreement with.
Right, yes, we
So
do have that agreement already.
Yeah, so but it's not built yet, but once that comes to fruition, the person that we hire is gonna have to put in some time helping maintain that facility, care of the dogs there. So we might have to revisit this schedule, pay schedule as well.
And there's also some long-term opportunities that will be coming between now and the next 2 months.
Can we read it to reflect the 8768?
Well, that is what step 5 is. And
We have steps yet, so why don't we just stick with
That's
the
fine.
8765?
okay,
And so next week we can get into all the steps.
okay.
Is it effective May 14th as well? Because that was 2 weeks ago, Thursday.
Yes, it's effective May 14th.
Can we,
Wouldn't we have to make it effective tonight?
I'm sorry.
Wouldn't it have to be effective tonight? Because you can't retroactive hire, like, and vote.
Well, that job is probably the most needed job in the town of Rush right now. And that person will start work tomorrow and she needed to have training. Can't just go out there and do that job without some understanding of Rush and the needs of Rush are.
So doesn't it starts tomorrow, and I know it was important back on May 14th, but we're on May 28th
I wonder if she already had the training.
for tomorrow.
Well,
And we were anticipating her hire and I would be fine with that. And because if she didn't get hired, then she'd still have the training.
right,
But because she had the training, did she have the training?
yes,
on May? Okay.
okay. Well, I don't have an issue with changing that date
But
from May 14th.
that's great that she had the training and she
Right.
spent her time at the training.
Right,
But I understand what you're saying. It's sort of hard to retroact. What do you want to do with this?
Well, just consult, I guess, the town attorney. Do we need to put like tomorrow?
I would use no later than the date of the vote if it were me, if you wanted me to look into it and provide more,
so,
concrete grounding in the authorities, I could do that, but I'm actually leaning towards what David is saying and making it effective today or tomorrow as opposed to retroactive.
Thank
okay,
you.
today.
Okay, yeah, because you never know.
Okay,
May
May
27th.
27th,
Because at midnight, right now, could get a call.
May 27th,
I would like to-
2026.
I would like to move to approve the supervisor's appointment of Holly McNeil as dog control officer, effective May 27th through December 31st, 2026, and could be renewed at the salary per year of $8,768. Do I have a second?
The retroactive or prorated amount.
Yes,
whatever that is.
yes, yes,
Per year, that's why I say per
right,
year.
yes. Okay,
Somebody second.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Councilman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kais,
Yep.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
aye. Resolution to appoint Peter Gardner as Tree Advisory Citizens Committee member.
I would like to say that
Sorry, David.
I would like to move to appoint Peter Gardner as a member of the Tree Advisory Citizens Committee effective May 27th. And I'm sorry we don't have an end date because the Tree Advisory Committee is staggered in 1, 2, and 3 years. And we just don't happen to know which position he's taking the place of. So it might be a 1-year appointment or 2-year appointment or a 3-year appointment. And I didn't realize that I tried to contact the president or the
The
chairperson, and she hasn't gotten back to me tonight. But I would like to approve, unless you felt comfortable, you want to get back to it, or
Can we just table it and do it next week or next meeting?
whatever you feel.
And then we have a confirmed date.
Fine, or I move to table Peter Gardner until the next board meeting.
I'd also like to note, we don't have an approved fee schedule for 2026. If that could be added to the next meeting so that we have an updated fee schedule for our residents.
A fee schedule for president, what do you mean?
They have to have a fee schedule for all the things that they're paying. We're going off of 2025, like anything that they come in for,
Permits.
like permits. Yeah.
He's looking for a fee schedule for permits for 2026. He says that we're going on 2025.
We didn't put it in the organizational minutes this year.
Did you make any changes to the 2025?
I guess as long as it's reviewed, if nothing's being updated. But I think that needs to be looked at, like, to make sure everything's good. We have new hires, people working in different offices. I think it's important we look at it. Even if it isn't a change, just to make sure all the employees are aware too.
You're talking about the wage schedule, not the fee.
No, the
schedule.
wages and the fees that would be collected. It's like we have a new building inspector. So making sure he knows all of his things too, and so, and that he is aware of if there's any changes or discrepancies with the old stuff.
Well, I will take a look first thing Monday morning and see if there's a change in the fee schedule. And that can also be brought to the next meeting as part of fees and salaries.
Thank you.
No, you have to. Okay. Is it talking? Public comment period, 3 minutes. I'm sorry? David. Got busy moving stuff, looking for David's figures. Yeah, oh, oh, it was so low under there.
I heard you ask for it, so here I am.
Well, we're not ready yet. 1 minute.
Oh, all right.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Announcement honoring Wayham Second Building in Rush on the National Register of Historic Places. That's all we've got.
So it's just an announcement.
Just an announcement.
So this is
That is going to
in
be-
Meadowwood. There's a second building in Rush that's been added to the National Register of Historic Places. Can't hear us?
Yeah, you can't,
Go ahead.
Okay, so what the supervisor said was, in Meadowwood, which is near Stoll Road, right behind Stoll Road, there is a building that is, just entered the National Register of Historic Places. So there's gonna be, a tour, but we just wanted the person who sponsored it just wanted to make the announcement, Susan Swanton. And it's something to be proud of in our town. It's a Claude Bragdon house designed by the architect. Yes. And I think we will have a comment someone's going to come up here in the public comment, give us a little more
Right.
on that.
Well, Mary, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, the invitation, I believe Susan sent to all of the town board inviting you.
Right.
It is on June 7th. I believe it's at from 1 to 3 at 12 to 3. Thanks, Carol. I wasn't prepared for this either. But yes, it is a home built around 1912, a family compound. It's pronounced Ray, W-R-A-Y. It was my grandparents' home. I live next door, so it's called Ray Home. But anyway, the public is invited to come. Again, only 2 properties. This is the second one in the town to be not just on the National Register, but also the New York State Registry as well. So it's a great accomplishment. She put a ton of years and hard work into it, and she's looking forward to everyone coming and visiting.
Thank you for sharing that.
Can you send that to me? 'Cause I didn't get it.
And I would like,
Oh.
I would like to apologize to Ms. Swanson for pronouncing the name of her home the wrong way. Okay, we're ready now. Okay.
Mary Ellen Heyman, Middle Road. It was very nice to hear good news about the home and Susan, and that we'll hope to see everybody there. As we were invited and looking forward to going. I'd like to go back. I'm not quite sure why the attorney didn't step in here, but I'm going to step into it here. I opened my comments tonight unaware that this was on the agenda and talked about the budget. Tonight, you have committed the town to hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially without any basis in fact on what you need, what kind of data drives the appointment of 2 independent agencies to do the work that one man at a salary cost of about $67,000 has been doing for a long time. And you've hired somebody else and said that he was going to be building inspector. So this is a change from what the town has done, but you've done it in a vacuum because you you've read and approved the abstracts. For 6 months, you've spent money. Have you actually looked at your budget? How is this money for these 2 engineering firms? Where is it coming from? Was it budgeted? Do you have it? And if you don't have it or don't know or can't answer those questions, then you should have definitely waited until you had that information. I'm surprised at how comfortable everybody is with spending money for new things. Yes, we need a dog warden. Yes, there are other things that are very important, but you get a yes. And my biggest concern is why didn't anybody ask, what is the connection? Why is there an ethical issue here? What is the problem? The supervisor may know construction, but it's obvious he is not aware of government rules. Resolution for authorization to sign support contract and specialty inspections is needed by American Precision Contractors or Construction. And you have absolutely no association with that company, correct? That's what you said earlier.
Public comment period is not a
So
question.
I think somebody should ask that question and that information should be either shared publicly or acted on appropriately. Thank you.
Phyllis Wickerham, 105 Biondo Court. I am going to kind of piggyback on what Mrs. Heyman just talked about. The contract that you signed with specialty inspections, for specialty inspections with Precision American Precision Construction for the construction of the Sri Vida Temple. That will be the only project that American Precision Construction will be working on via, I mean, it says right here. So just so you know, if that construction company inspects anything else, you will be out of compliance with your own resolution. On a different note, when I come in here, I have to sign my name, my first and my last name. I would like to request that anybody who logs into Zoom also put their first and their last name so we know who is in our meetings. Thank you.
I'd like to respond to three things. One, the reason I voted on the firms to give us backup for a building inspection was because I was told by the supervisor that we've already saved $45,000 by going with Rick Tracy and not filling it with the former building inspector. So we had money that we had a net gain, and therefore I felt having a backup. Let's say Rick Tracy couldn't do it, then I thought it was reasonable to have that backup, knowing that that money was already saved by going a different route. I didn't want to I don't want to spend it either. And I also am very aware that specialty inspections is only for the Sri Vida temple. And it said it right in the resolution. So that makes sense what Phyllis was talking about. And I think that's what he's intended for, is just for the temple. It's a very big project, very big commercial project. And as for the Zoom, I want to say that I've always liked that idea, that I'd like their names also entered into the record. We used to do that with having everybody's names who come here to the meeting entered into the record, and I would like to know their names. Because if I don't see it up there, I don't know who's really here listening to us. So I like all those suggestions. Thank you.
One thing going up, that was me first. That was me on Rachel.
Just clarification. Amber Corbin, Rush, New York. Mary Ann, Phyllis, Mary Ellen, and Town Board. Budget money. I'm a taxpayer, you're taxpayers. Do your homework. Put a sheet together on the budget. 35,000 was saved here, 20 was saved there. Well, I can tell you the budget for the insurance was 55,000 and you ended up paying 80,000. So that money has been used up. All these different costs that Mary Ellen, Phyllis have spoken about, and many others. To vote on things and keep adding to the cost of us as taxpayers is not fiscally responsible. To be a financial CEO, CFO, all of you are to us. We give you our money and we expect you to spend it appropriately, but in a budget. How can you vote on things that aren't in the current budget? You're only 5 months into it. You've said the legal fees are through the roof, way over budget. The contract you're paying by the hour to 2 town attorneys, actually 3 town attorneys. So to say you've saved money, so now you can just turn around and spend it. I don't have my budget at my home that way. Otherwise I'd be in the poorhouse. You have a set amount of money. When you save it, you just don't turn around and spend it because you haven't saved it in other areas. You've way overspent in other areas. So please, please take our tax dollars seriously. I know you do, but sitting here and listening to you vote to continue to spend money that is not in the 2026 budget, just, as they say, blows our minds. Thank you.
Good evening again. My name is Kelsey, I'm a resident on Middle Road. Tonight, the board spoke about acting promptly to meet the needs of its residents. You spoke about not wanting residents to incur costs because the town board or the town in general did not act in a timely fashion. And that it was important to hire multiple contractors or have them at the ready to meet the needs of their residents. We on Middle Road, who have been here repeatedly for almost an entire year, we are owed the same respect. We are owed the same consideration. The erosion concern that you've witnessed, we are incurring costs. It is costly. But yet we're not hearing discussion in the same respect with the same consideration to say the town needs to act to look at this and make sure that these residents have an answer, that this is tended to, that they can act on some piece of formal knowledge or a formal assessment or a formal decision for that matter. So I ask again tonight, as I've been asking for almost a full year, for the town board to show us that same respect. And after this almost full year has passed, get us a timely response at this point from this request forward, a timely response. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm going to ask that the town board that we put on the agenda, the Middle Road situation, and at least talk about it. I know that we have different challenges, but why don't we discuss it out in the open at the next town board meeting? And I know we're waiting on some grants and they've been waiting for a long time. And are we going to just sit on it or are we going to take action? And I know we have the constraints of the budget, obviously. So we're trying to balance everything. But I don't feel comfortable moving forward without discussing this and coming up with the best possible solution. I'd like to put it on the agenda for next time. It's a long time coming.
I discuss all of the issues of the town of Rush with the departments that are responsible for those issues. I spent time today talking with the highway superintendent about all of the issues with flooding in the town of Rush. And it's a difficult issue.
Does anybody want to help me host a fundraiser to get this pond dredged? At least?
They're there.
I think we should put it on the agenda and take some kind of action. What do you say?
I'd like to ask. I'd like to ask, I guess I was under the impression that we had the residents that have brought grants, potential grants available to us. And was it that we just did not act on them or authorize them to go? Because they sounded like they were willing to work on them for flood migration and different things. It just, we decided not to do that or what?
No, that isn't true. I've been responding to emails on a regular basis about flooding. I will sit here tonight and anybody that want to come up here and say that they want to do a grant, I will support them.
Read the response, that mean?
Okay, well, that's what I've been doing.
Quite reflective, yeah.
That's what I've been doing. And if anyone here wants to come up and volunteer to do grants, I will be supportive and I'll ask this board to be supportive.
I think we did receive some correspondence from a couple residents willing to write grants.
Well, I would be more than happy to do whatever I need to do to support that.
I would just like it to be put on the record that I was looped in and CC on an email where Mary Ellen Heyman did offer to write a grant in support. And she went almost 2 weeks without any feedback or direction from the supervisor or anybody who could have given feedback. I believe it's only the supervisors authorized to give that feedback. But almost 2 weeks she went without the feedback. And then when being prompted again to say, hey, I just need the feedback to support, it was too late. So I just want that to be on the record that people have offered. And we are more than willing to support. That's part of the reason we brought these to the attention of the board, because there was ample opportunity at the time it was brought to the board to apply for these things. I'd just like that on record. Thank you.
Again, I think we need to discuss this and take some kind of action.
As
Did
I
you
look
have
at
a comment? You had a comment earlier. Did you want to share now or no? Not to put you on the spot. Sorry. Do you want to share that just to go on record or? Oh, we can look away. Like, no, just, it's okay.
Well, if you're a new dog control officer, I welcome you. Thank you.
It's like, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm still calling the question of Middle Road, and I think we need to take some action. So I don't want to close this meeting feeling like we're leaving them without some action.
I'm quite concerned about the inaction. I feel like the only action that was taken was by the 4 members to get a quote, and that's where it died. And it's unfortunate.
Well, let's just decide now what to do. That's all. We could just move on and make the best decision forward. I know we have constraints. We have financial constraints, but let's take some action. And if we can put it on the next agenda, and maybe if the residents wouldn't mind coming up with some courses of action. I know we know a lot has to be done. And the committee was supposed to work on this. What did the committee say?
That committee was mentioned by Councilmember Rizzo at an earlier meeting this year, but was never formed. It was not continued. I believe the supervisor said it was not needed.
At the time, it wasn't. But if someone wants to start a committee, I would agree to it. But I work with the highway superintendent, and I spend a lot of time talking with the highway superintendent about the issues in the town of Rush. And I will continue to do that.
Can we get the pond dredged as soon as possible, for starters? That's what I want done first.
Superintendent, he knows the issues, and he's scheduling his work for the summer.
Where are we in priorities? The question and answers, that's not what this. I understand, but your opportunity to comment is during the designated comment period. If we're talking over people during the meeting, it just delays things.
There is a chain of command that really doesn't, I don't think it really exists with an elected highway superintendent. I think if the highway superintendent was appointed, then the board could decide what the highway superintendent's priorities are. But that's not the case. I feel like the supervisor can't determine what the highway superintendent's priorities are. And I think that's a problem, that should be something that should be under the control of the board to be able to say, hey, we feel this is the priority. And that's something I think we need to fix, is having an appointed highway superintendent so that the board can direct the priorities.
Okay. If there's no further comments, announcements. Sheriff,
So I'm sorry, but we're gonna walk away from this meeting without an action, or just at least to say that we'll put it on the agenda. And at least to ask the residents, given our resources, what do you recommend we do? And let's talk about it at the next meeting. I propose.
I will ask the highway superintendent to come to the next meeting.
Something.
Okay, announcements. The sheriff community meeting Wednesday, June 3rd at 6 p.m. in the pavilion. Town board. Town board 6/10/26, 7 p.m. Conservation board 6/11/26. Zoning board, June 18th, 7 p.m. And planning board, June 23rd. Tree board, June 16th at 6:30 p.m. And I would like to make a motion to enter into executive session to discuss our contract agreements for our town legal representation. And we will probably just close the meeting after that. You get a,
Thank you for coming, everyone.
I'll second.
can you get a vote?
Councilwoman Rizzo,
Yes.
Councilman Kies,
Yep.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Supervisor Hankins.
Yes. And we only need the town board members to the meeting.
Just.